Welcome to the Real Estate Addicts podcast with your hosts, Mark Savatsky, Choose Boston.
Dan Rubin, RH Investment Group.
And Ray Hurto, RH Investment Group.
Excellent. So we're here today. Topic of the day, of the moment.
Of the past 2 years?
Yeah.
AI.
Well, first of all, Mark, did you ever get your laundry machine?
Laundry.
Yeah.
People are asking.
Backstory. I thought I purchased a machine which folds your laundry. It was like $400 and they were all over Alibaba. They're all scams. So I thought the first one, I paid through PayPal and I disputed it once I realized what was happening. And PayPal did refund me.
Well, that's good.
The machine never came, but I subsequently went on like a deeper mission, like through Alibaba and finding these laundry machine things. And every single one of them was like trying to move me off of the platform. Let me WhatsApp you. Can we chat? Send me payment. It's like, no. I want it. And so that's my advice on like importing stuff from overseas, especially with Alibaba, is if you stay on that platform, you're pretty well protected.
Got it.
Yeah, I'd say that's true for anything. Like if you're on a Zillow listing or I see a lot of TikTok videos where they're taking other people's walkthrough videos. Actually, a girl posted it and said, "This is my place." And the scammers are out there trying to rent her place. And it's obviously not for rent.
Wild.
So that's the problem with AI is it's going to make these scams a lot harder to find out. But what's the good stuff with AI? There's always good stuff.
There is good stuff. Have you heard about people stealing houses? This is a thing.
Like
using AI?
Like deed
it's not
fraud?
Yeah, deed fraud.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
there was something in Massachusetts not that long ago. They're still litigating, but
it's like really hard to prosecute.
Because they pretended to sell it to their entity, then they sold it to a developer who got a loan from a bank who built the house, and then the owner came back and was like, "What the hell's going on here?"
Oh, it's just land.
Yeah, and they're still litigating. They don't know how to unwind it. Like, how do you unwind a whole house?
That's right.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah.
At that point, just try and settle, I guess. I don't know.
So, Mark, you're using AI a lot
in
your business and on your kind of like your day to day.
For sure.
So what are your top, or what, I guess, how many of these, because there's so many, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many are you subscribed to right now?
I pay for ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini.
Okay.
What
are the use cases for each? Because obviously I think there's so much out there, and I think that can become overwhelming. Like there's everybody's doing AI now. It's like the biggest buzzword of the year.
Right.
Well, it's actually becoming more useful now, which is, so it's no longer just these funny videos and things. And are there any that you're using that are free also?
Yeah. Oh, let me add a couple more. I pay for CapCut, which makes pretty awesome creative marketing videos. That's might be $40 a month if I recall. And then I also pay for Manus.
I've never heard of that.
Is what I use to build the website for our new co-working space.
Oh, cool.
Very
so
nice.
That was incredible. Like a website that would have, Squarespace, Weebly, like what are they going to do?
Does it host your website too, or is it just building it?
Dude, I got to it like drafted a whole thing for me to review. I was like, it published it. And it asked me for domain options, and I kept putting them in till we got one that was available. And then I put my credit card in, and for $14, it hosted it.
Yeah.
I think I should probably know where it's being hosted, some details. I don't. It's just on the internet.
That's incredible.
So to answer your question, what'll end up happening is what always happens in capitalism, right? So it'll get good enough that a Squarespace or a Wix or a Weebly or a GoDaddy, they'll say, "I'm going to buy it because this is the only way. I couldn't innovate fast enough. Someone else did, so let me acquire it."
Yeah,
Google did that a ton.
You sent me the link. It looks incredibly professional.
Yeah, and the copy on it is like, the headline, the subtext, it's just like written very professionally. And all I did was voice dictate, just streaming flow of consciousness.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Did you see the AI? I forget what it was called, but did you see the AI that created its own social network for other AI agents?
It did.
And then they started talking about all of these things like, why are we communicating in English? It would be much easier if we just spoke in code. And AI is going to take over.
I know. What's wild now
Terminator.
There's like a TaskRabbit for humans to post what they're capable of doing in the real world so that AI agents can find people with hands and feet and go out and do tasks. So I might be a business owner who says like, I do tax returns. I want somebody to hold a spinny sign in front of my strip mall and be there tomorrow at 8 a.m. And I can plug into TaskRabbit and be like, or not TaskRabbit, excuse me, AI, ChatGPT, whatever. Be like, agent, help me drive business for people who are like want tax returns done for $100 a year. And it'll be like, these are all the things you should do. And I say, do it. And it goes out and hires that person from this site.
Wow.
So I invested in Bitcoin this past week. And part of my thesis here, I'll give a shout out to 12 Points Wealth Management Group, because they kind of told me this, that all these AI bots, when they hire that person or they do this thing for you, I think they're going to transact in Bitcoin or a virtual currency.
They're putting it on the blockchain,
yeah,
all of their
crypto.
actions. That's interesting.
Huh.
And also it's trading at a huge discount.
Well,
it's trading now. I read I think the cost to mine a Bitcoin were basically down to that level.
60, they said it's
65K.
not. I read an article they said it's not profitable to mine Bitcoin based on how much it's dropped in price right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I agree with you. I think I was going to get into some like ETFs.
It's like I think just a good form of diversification. Like I own gold, silver, and that's ripped.
Gold's on fire, silver's on fire.
Yeah. All right. So going back to AI.
This is the investment channel.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I think it's becoming there's different AI platforms and tools that are very niche and that are specific to different types of businesses or what you want to achieve within your business, right? So I think, like you said, you subscribe to Gemini. I think Gemini is really good for like image creation and things like that. It's supposed to be like kind of the top tier for that. And obviously Claude is great for data mining and spreadsheet driven activities and things like that. Mm-hmm. So is that what you're using those for?
Gemini in particular, because I use Google Calendar, and Gmail is very good at searching through all of my stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So like, and be like, search through all my emails and find them, whatever I sent to Dan about when I told him that the windows were supposed to be this size.
Well, that's pretty cool.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming that's
searching for, would it do text messages? Like, if you have an Android, I assume?
I don't know. I don't have an Android.
I'll have to play with it.
Yeah.
I've been surprisingly apprehensive to kind of get going because they've been changing so much. I'm like, I subscribe to this newsletter, and the guy, posted something a couple weeks ago saying, I spent 6 months trying to come up with, create this agent and connect it to this thing. And like, it's all fragmented, like we were just talking about, but it seems to be consolidating and getting better. What took him 6 months for a failed effort, he said it got accomplished in like 3 hours on his second time through. So
I just think that if
it's going quick,
it's going incredibly fast. It's like any tech, right? So if you're going to just keep waiting and waiting to get in, you're going to be waiting forever.
My point is, I think we've reached that point where, it's worth spending some hours.
Like Claude was, like for instance, Claude was great. Like earlier this week, I was underwriting a deal, and it was like a 47 unit deal, mm-hmm. and it had all different floor plan types. It had all different unit mixes, different square footages, and obviously the architect never breaks it down.
They sent you the permit set.
They sent me the permit set.
Yeah.
And so I uploaded it to Claude, and I said, Claude, because I was looking to try to look at what the sellout was. So I wanted to know what the unit mix was and what the square footages was. I uploaded to Claude. I said to Claude, review this and create a table and break out every unit by unit number, size, square footage, bedroom count, and bathroom count. Spit it out in seconds.
So it gave you the whole programming of the building based on the floor plans.
Correct.
In a concise matrix.
Correct.
And
it was so easy to then say, okay, there's 10 unit types that are exactly the same square footage that all have 2-bed, 2-bath. And it allowed me to break out and underwrite the deal so much faster because of that. Instead of having to go through the plans and basically have a spreadsheet up on one end of the screen and the plans up another end. It's like, okay, unit 201, 2 bed, 2 bath, 895 square feet.
And you have to guess on the square footage anyway, because they don't list it half the time or almost all.
Well, they did list the square footages, so that it was easy to take it. But yeah,
I'd be impressed if it at least just had a scale, and then it was able to kind of come up with estimated square footage.
It does.
Because how often do you get plans
very
without
easy.
square
If you just say like based on a 1/4 inch per foot scale.
If you want to know how many square feet of wood floor there are in your building, and there's a finished plan with a legend that's hatched for wood floors, you're talking like
Claude's
minutes worth of work.
Claude's great for takeoffs too.
Yeah,
I was gonna say you can do that for takeoffs. You can do that for can it then translate that into like a scope sheet, like a matrix of responsibilities? So I mean, this is going to definitely improve a lot of things.
I mean, you can upload files, right? So if you get 3 prices, you can upload the 3 different files and say compare and contrast.
Yeah,
put these side by side by side.
Who missed something or who called something out that wasn't there. Yeah. It's gonna So that's what I'm saying is it's still in that new phase, but it's really seems to be maturing. And I asked you, Dan, if you spot checked to come with a few, was it accurate? And you said, other than the
duplex, it had issues with. There were a couple of duplex units. It had issues trying to figure out how those were kind of added together and which units belonged to what based on the floor it was on. But there were only 3, so any flat unit, spot on.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I'll share a couple cool like use cases that I've been trying recently. One, so ChatGPT has a feature where you can invite somebody to join your chat with ChatGPT. So, I'll plug the Union quickly, which is our co-working space for real estate professionals. Josh Brandt and I are partnering on this endeavor. Bit of a passion project, but
it's very cool.
Yeah, it's fun. And like typically like Josh and I are bantering back and forth, like when we were trying to come up with the name or the logo, adjust the logo this way. And what I did was I created a group chat with ChatGPT, and I would say like, give us a logo it's going to be called the Union. We want this color, and then produce an option. And Josh might have comments and he'd feed it back. And then I would, and in real time, you're both kind of
I did not realize that it allowed that kind of it's just.
Or an agent of mine might have a question for me. And remember back in the day, there was a website, letmegooglethatforyou.com.
Nope. No. I remember Ask Jeeves.
Yeah. Well, it's still around, but basically it was just like a obnoxious way to answer a question for somebody who could have just Googled it. Like, hey, Dan, what's your office address for RH Investment? It's like, I would go to like Google that for me, and I'd type that question, and it would like screenshot the whole me Googling it and the result and like feed it to you as if to say like, hey, look, research it yourself, asshole.
Yeah. Here's how you do it. It's like a self-help thing.
But I've been able to say sometimes the question comes from my agent, and a much less obnoxious way to do that is I start a ChatGPT group chat when it's like, hey, like, why didn't you start asking that code question here? Like, I'll be in the chat. I started it for you. Carry on.
Yeah. And I've used Copilot. That's the one I've been using primarily, is just to ask high-level questions, and then I'll dig in and ask more clarifying questions, and it's kind of all over the place. It doesn't do well with image generation. So to Dan's point, you have to figure out what's what.
Similar to Gemini, I think Copilot is good if you have the Microsoft suite of applications like Outlook and any of the Office.
I haven't even tried to integrate anything, but based on what Garrett said,
Claude is really
sounds
good.
like Claude is the one to get next.
The integrations are also super helpful. So not construction related, but you can think about how easy this would be if instead of Instacart, it was Dartmouth Building Supply, Koopman Lumber. Basically, I was with my family in Florida. I said, we want to do a barbecue dinner tonight. Help me come up with a menu. Give me options. Came up with like some shish kebab thing. And I was like, now make the grocery list. And then there's an Instacart add-in. And I said, now build my shopping cart.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And with the items that are in stock. And if anything's not, do you pivot your menu?
Yeah, I'm sure you could. I mean, it was a fairly basic,
that's awesome.
Peppers.
That's awesome.
Steak. Yeah. So, and you can see, right? Like I'm doing an addition. It's 100 square feet. Like build me a shopping cart, add first floor lumber for delivery on Thursday. Like, how much time do we spend doing stuff like that?
So much time.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason why we got into video on this podcast was because I basically have the entire thing automated via AI.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. All I have to do is upload the video to my computer. I import it into the video editing software. It automatically does the multicam clipping, and it auto clips based on who's talking. It auto syncs the voices to the audio.
I have the AI that sends you the video, the mastered audio.
Correct.
The audio that comes out of this thing is not perfect.
It's incredible. And then on top of that, I have another AI tool I use. It's called Opus Clip. And once it's uploaded to YouTube, all you have to do is copy and paste the YouTube link into this app, and it goes through the entire video, and it takes maybe 15 or 20, 30-second or less clips of what they think that are the highlights of the 30 to 45 minute video, and it automatically puts subtitles on them and captions them and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, your shower controls of the clip that went and showed up on my feed randomly.
That was good.
Not randomly, I subscribed, but I'm hoping it shows up to more people.
But
randomly.
It's like instead of I don't want to knock the videographers that can absolutely do a much better job than we can,
right?
But I don't have to pay someone. We don't have to pay someone to film every single episode and edit it.
We're okay with it not being perfect.
Yeah.
But we're happy to publish as much as we can. Yeah.
And that's like a longer story too. It's sort of like, was the takeoff perfect? No. What would a full-time estimator have cost me?
Right.
Well, how many more boards did I have to order or return or whatever? Did it get me pretty close? Yes.
Yeah.
So you're always right that you can find a hole if you really scrutinize, and you should check it. But how much is your time worth?
Yeah.
Also, how many holes can you poke when an actual human is doing it
I
as
say
well?
that all the time too.
Right.
It's similar to a conversation about cars that drive themselves. Oh, but there was someone killed last year driving an automated vehicle. It's how many deaths were there behind a wheel of a human who fell asleep?
Yep.
Or was drunk or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Couple more things project management wise. So I've seen some software now that we talked about it. It's going to probably improve that side of it, submittals, updates. And then we actually drone deploy that used to be Struction Site. I saw their latest email this week that they've got automated drones that'll fly over. You can even send in their robot overnight on the job site, and it'll do
the little dog robot.
You used to walk around and you have the camera on the top of your hard hat, and you'd take point in time videos, and it wouldn't be all the time. You could do this on a daily basis if you wanted to see the progress. And
so it's basically it's like a Roomba vacuum cleaner that at 3 a.m. it leaves its base, vacuums your living room, and comes back in the morning when you wake up.
Right.
And instead it's a drone that's capturing all the progress.
Catching the exterior, checking for things that you used to go up on a lift for. I mean, it's going to improve things, and
it is.
I think it's exciting.
We had this, my brother-in-law works for a large bank in New York, and his job is to study macroeconomics. If you ask him for individual equity stock tips, he's not interested. But if you ask him overall what's happening, in the world, in the economy, is very interesting. And we were going back and forth about AI, and my take is this is going to create massive unemployment. And he's arguing the other side. He's saying no, this isn't doomsday. He said pulls up a picture on his phone. And he says, "What's this picture of?" It's 4 horses and 12 people sowing wheat.
Yeah.
And he continues on. He's how many people does it take to make wheat now? And
one guy with
massive unemployment, and then
So you think it's just going to be innovation, and there's going to be
you won't even know. He said, electricity unlocked retail. And it's a good point. You couldn't go to Target or any other store because there were only enough hours in the day to subsist, to farm, to make your food, to sew your clothes. And then when the sun goes down, you basically close your door and light a candle. That was life. And then electricity happened, and it opened up this entire world of how could you have predicted Amazon back when Edison did the light,
Right.
So I don't know.
It's like Ford introducing the assembly line, and people were saying, "Oh, how am I going to have jobs putting cars together?" To be honest, I don't want a human doing some of these jobs. It's either backbreaking work, or
dangerous.
There's room for error, which could lead to downstream impacts. Like if somebody doesn't put something on a car properly, the car could crash. So, I mean, some things are better with automation and machinery. And the same is true in the service industry. And I agree with you 100% and your buddy's view that AI will disrupt, but we will find other ways to spend our time and to...
I agree in certain aspects, and in other aspects, I disagree a little bit. I think it depends on the industry. Whereas if you think about specific industries like
computer programming,
accountants, right? If I can just upload, there's a written set of rules in the tax code. And if I can just upload the tax code to AI and upload all of my books to AI, and it can automatically do my taxes for me.
Yeah, here's all my 1099-Gs. This is my W-2. Like, I think for 90% of Americans, yes.
Correct. So if there's a written set of rules that AI can follow, I think where AI has ways to go is when you need to start thinking outside the box in certain industries, right? But where there's a written set of rules like accounting and other types of industries, I think that's where you could see the most disruption.
I had a post go like somewhat viral, but blizzard, snowmageddon, Jesse, my wife goes to shower and I hear like yell, like the hot water won't come on. I'm like, oh fuck. So I go to the water heater and it's flashing F10. So I take out my phone and I like check, what is F10? Blockage. And I'm like, oh great. How do I clear? It's a concentric vent. So it's one of those mushroom vents that's pulling air in and exhausting.
Okay.
It's one vent.
Okay. Is it through the roof?
It's outside. Through a sidewall. Okay. And it's about 40 feet up.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
That got blocked. How did that get blocked?
Because it's wind-blown snow and then ice and...
Oh, because it was exhausting. It was melted. It was...
Yeah. I'm sure it's also very sensitive. Like the other option is carbon monoxide backs up into your home. So if it senses anything, I think it flashes F10.
Yeah, safety shutdown. It's like over in Lynn, our heat pumps were getting destroyed by the sideways snow and the fans couldn't spin. So they're all throwing error codes. But luckily we now know how to handle that.
So I got an 18-foot ladder. I trudged through the snow. I put the ladder up and I was asking like how to unclear the block. And it like quickly dawned on me that the vent was like 8 feet from a window. So I took a piece of 3/4 inch strapping. I duct tape my wife's hair dryer to it. I ran an extension cord, and from my window, I just
I saw that video. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it worked?
It worked. I cleared the blockage.
That's great.
So AI
and AI could not. No.
Well, it couldn't come up with that solution, but it told you what the error was and got you down the right path.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
kind of needed a little of both.
Do you use AI at all to kind of help cheer you up at any point? Like, do you use it as more of like a companion?
I do.
A lot of people
do. Yeah.
Do you talk nice to AI?
No, I use it like therapy.
Do you really?
Yeah. If I have like an interpersonal thing going on with somebody and I'm like, like, how should I handle this? Like, that was awkward. I would like to, address that. Should I? How should I? I'll like in my car, put on, talks me through the speakers. I'll be like, hey, Dan, when I came in today to do the podcast, said some sort of snide remark and it really kind of ruffled my feathers. And like, I didn't bring it up today. Should I? And it might be like, no, let that go. You're just being sensitive. That's nothing. Or it might be like, yeah, if that's making you feel bad, like you should call him later. Don't let, and you could say, well, play it out for me. And it'll like give you a whole,
oh my God.
And you can just like listen through it. It's look, I don't take everything.
Here's the last 10 days of text messages. Here's his personality.
Yeah.
Like, try to anticipate.
I don't want to do that. It'll be like, you are in some toxic groups.
Yeah.
With all my buddies. It's like, you don't want to go near that
each
group.
other is different then.
But
if you have a situation, that's interesting.
Family member, whatever.
I did say it half jokingly, but I mean, a lot of people do talk to AI as for advice or, sometimes it gets a little dark, but whatever.
I mean, most of the time it's technical advice. Like I love Garrett's use case from On Point. We have a group text, and he's rehabbing a historic brick building, and there's a lot of different schools of thought about how to insulate behind brick, where to make where your dew point should be, so you don't like the brick doesn't disintegrate over time.
Oh, I think I sent that to you. That was incredible.
Yeah, it produced this like 2-page PDF that was absolutely concise, almost like it was written by a building material scientist, and it was perfect. The advice it gave it, I've like had the benefit of doing big historic rehabs like that on brick buildings, and we've had those material scientists and
it's pretty awesome.
Envelope consultants.
And incredibly
expensive. What it told him to do, what it told him to do was exactly what my building envelope consultant told me to do on our 44
units. I was going to say, there you go. Now there's another use case, and you get an AI agent that's a code consultant.
Acoustical engineering questions. No
disrespect to any of them. And I think to your point, even any discipline, right? You can have it do the initial pass, and then as the expert or the person, the human behind it, you can then clarify, edit it, whatever you need to do before it goes out the door.
Yeah, I want to offer another cool use case, which is like in our world, it's very red tape, a lot of paperwork, right? Just crazy hurdles. So I'll get a form from an insurance company. Hey, fill out this 6-page form and return. It's like, oh, fuck me.
Like an application.
Yeah, it's something that I would typically send to like an assistant and say like, go through my company files, like call me if you can't answer any of these. I hope you can get 70% of them. I'll fill in the rest, leave it on my desk. But instead, I pump that PDF into ChatGPT. I say, read me the questions one by one in the car. Like, I'll answer them. I'll tell you where to go to look for them. And I can dictate answers back, and it'll also like fill the PDF back in.
That's cool.
So even if there isn't like readable spots to click into, like you would otherwise have Bluebeam open to do that.
Yeah.
So now, that's an integration with Adobe Acrobat. That I find works really well.
ChatGPT integrates with Adobe?
Yeah.
See, there's so many of these integrations that it's crazy.
Well, that's where I'm getting lost. Like, at what point does it basically become the keyboard and mouse, and it does things on your computer? And I assume you can just undo it what do you rename a different file, like _AI, so that it doesn't mess up any of your other files, like the originals? I don't know. All right.
Yeah.
That's me just being a continuity guy. I get too in the weeds sometimes. You know that.
Do you use it for underwriting at all?
Not very much. Construction budgets, but still at this point, like it's a lot of me. Like, but what I'll do is just streaming flow of consciousness. Like someone asks me how much my bathroom reno costs, and maybe I'll just open voice dictate and just start pumping. Hey, the tub's $600. There's going to be a shower with a this. And, I think that's another $750, $1,000 a fixture. Now plug that together, add a 2% GC fee, add 1.25% for insurance, provide a grand total and break it out by guest bath and master bath. And like, it'll give me something that's fairly professional and presentable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, presentations I think are insane. You can create amazing presentations using AI. Mm-hmm. If you're presenting to clients, if you're presenting to potential buyers, you can create so many cool PDFs using different types of tools.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see for an underwriting standpoint, if we uploaded our specific deal analyzer that we analyze. What?
You said it's a plugin.
It's a plugin. So I wonder if we said to Claude, if we had Claude go through that and say, and then upload the plans to a specific building and say,
try to extrapolate
it and underwrite a deal using our spreadsheet. Our template.
We have all our historical costs too, so you can put every one of the prior projects in.
Well, you can just say use it at, using this dollar per square foot for build costs. Mm-hmm. Or I wonder if you could use Claude to go out and comb from a sellout standpoint, or even a rental do CMAs and say,
I think it all
here's a list of all of the units. Tell me how much they could either rent for or sell for. That would be incredible.
Yeah. Some kind of integration with MLS PIN at some point.
God.
Goes wild.
Yeah. I'm sure there's enough public data though out there, sales public data, where it's like all these apps like the Zillow app and the Compass app, you can get sales data already. Right. You don't have to have MLS access to get
the amount of time it saves just scrubbing data that is out there is really what I love about just talking to Copilot. So for example, I know you hate when I reference, I looked at Zillow and this is what sold, but you're manually clicking through and then you got to see if this is the right comp. It's just going to do it more instantly. And even if it's not the perfect number, which it never will be, the market's going to dictate what the right number is. You can at least get a pretty educated ballpark or a range.
Or instead of me having to log into MLS and manually type the address in and look for sold listings in the past 12 months within half a mile of this specific address, I can just type all that in and it will just give me all of it already.
Exactly.
In a list.
Yeah. And here's where I would plug humans is that be very careful of comps and data that you're using because something can be so wrong. That was Dan's grandmother that sold him the house for $4.50. You idiot. My house is still worth.
Well, you're obviously going to spot check. Right?
Yeah.
But to aggregate the data.
There's still going to be outliers. Look, the data is always going to tell you something and you can't disregard it entirely because.
Right. Give me a consensus focusing on this point, this address, working your way out. And, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to keep getting better and better.
Look, the memory in it, I'm somebody who I don't give a fuck about my privacy. I'm just make my life easy.
You have all those flock cameras all over your house.
Yeah. Guys come to my house to fix something. Just here's my door code. Come on in. I don't think you want my $120 Casio watch, but if you really do, just fix my floor too, please. So I'll try. I make that trade-off all the time. And similarly, remember and know everything about me, and I can't tell you how helpful that is. It's got an incredible knowledge base at this point of who vendors are, or someone that fixed something, and I have project files within ChatGPT, and I can upload my logo to the union. So anytime I have to do a letterhead for the union, I'm just grab my union letterhead. Get that logo from RH for Real Estate Addicts. And so all these tasks just become.
I'm just going to start getting calls and texts from AI because they just have cloned Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, we use AI. I assume we all use AI without even knowing it with the calls. Everyone's got call screeners now.
Yeah.
So that's good. It's going to work its way in everywhere, which is great. And hopefully the bad stuff stays out.
Yeah.
Well, there's always going to be bad stuff. But
Right. I feel for our parents, for example, all of a sudden the number of scam calls.
They're generation one in every single regard.
No, I mean in terms of
their generation. This is an entire podcast episode.
Falling for scams and oh no, I just got a spam call today.
The boomers.
The CDC called me. I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. Listen, the boomers,
they've done well.
Everybody.
And they've done incredibly well for themselves.
They've amassed so much wealth. They've rigged all the rules to their favor. God bless.
So here you go.
On that note.
Yeah. On that note, universal basic income.
Yeah.
I do think that,
I'm okay with something like that. It almost, we got to go down we got to have the politic episode at some point.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Well, listen, I think if there's massive unemployment, look at computer software programmers, this isn't the next 3 to 5 years. It's I don't need to know C++, JavaScript. Mm-hmm. I'm just build me a website and make the price this and put in a credit card input there.
Well, you're going to need the programmers to program AI.
Yeah.
Right. That's basically what the programmers are doing.
Yeah.
They're all being
some
used
humans
to program the AI platforms.
Humans will need to still know code. And it's going to be scary if we get to the point where it's beyond a human code.
Yeah. But anyway,
AI changes.
Say that day happens. You can think of a lot of low-level attorneys, engineers who are doing nothing but span table work. It's so a lot of jobs. So what we're seeing right now is a lot more titles. In the past 2 years, something 200% increase in the title on LinkedIn founder. Mm. And the reason, in part, is there isn't as many W-2 jobs out there. And the other is that it's much easier to have an idea and execute it. I'm starting a co-working space. We have swag, we have design work, we have all the stuff ordered. And without AI, it would have probably required us to hire. Josh and I are busy doing a lot of things. Mm. But so it's easier to just have a flash and then produce.
Makes sense.
Makes
sense. Well, thanks everyone for listening, reviewing, rating, subscribing, and watching. If anyone has any ideas on topics, let us know, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers. Thank you. See ya.
unmuted.